Okay, أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله الذي علمنا أن نحمد والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق سيدنا وإمامنا محمد. Respected brothers, young and elders, welcome to this special session. And inshallah, we would like to start by focusing our niyyah and asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the full reward and the full barakah of this gathering. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to illuminate our hearts and minds. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless everyone who is here and those who are watching through the net, and the brothers who always keep us in their dua. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept this from us, inshaAllah. I would like to start with a question. This question is for the youth, for the youngsters. How many of you has a dream that inshallah when I grow up, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to be, this is how I am going to serve myself, my family, and the ummah of Muslims? How many of you have a dream? Raise your hand if you really have a dream. Okay, now the same question goes for the parents. How many of you is living his dream? When you were younger, you used to tell your father, I want to be this, I want to be that, right? So how many of you is living his dream? Alhamdulillah, we have some brothers who have risen their hands, so that's good. So this session is about making fikr for the ummah. Fikr is a word that we use a lot, and this word is a synonym of the word planning. Because when we sit down and we think about things, and then we say, inshallah, we are going to take these steps, or do this or do that, this is actually planning. And let me give you an example from the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the way he planned for his hijrah, his migration from Mecca to Medina, was a state-of-art planning. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam started 4 months before the date of hijrah, and he prepared his camel. He knew which camel he is going to take with him. And then he chose his companion. By the way, Hadrat Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu is the only Sahabi whose suhbat is mentioned in the Quran. إِذْ يَقُولُ لِصَاحِبِهِ لَا تَحْزَنْ. So he chose his companion for the hijrah. Then he asked Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu to sleep on his bed and return the trusts. He also asked Asma and Aisha to prepare the food. And that's why Asma was called Dhatul Nitaqain, because she took her belt and she tore it into 2 parts, and then she tied up the food. He also asked Abdullah ibn Abi Bakr to bring the ahwal of Quraysh to him. He asked a shepherd by the name of Abdullah ibn Fuhayra that when Rasulullah ﷺ and Abu Bakr pass in a certain area, that he bring his sheep and erase the footsteps. And then he used a non-Muslim, an expert, as a guide by the name of Abdullah ibn Urayqit. And finally, he took an unusual way to go to Medina. So Rasulullah ﷺ, in his planning for his hijrah, he involved men, Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu, and the shepherd, and the non-Muslim. He involved children, and he involved women. It was a full plan. But of course, in the heart, we always have the yaqeen on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that nothing will work, nothing will bring results except by the tawfiq and permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The next point that I would like to bring for everyone is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us about our field, about our career. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam says in this hadith, لن تزول قدم عبد يوم القيامة حتى يسأل عن أربع. And there is another narration that brings a fifth one. What are the 5 things that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that Allah will ask us before we can walk ahead from hisab, from judgment? Number 1, عن عمره فيما أفناه. Allah will ask us about our life. وعن شبابه فيما أبلاه. So life, the entire time, and then about our youth, which is the strong part of our life. So Allah will ask us about time twice, about the entire life, then about our youth and strength. Number 3, وعن ماله من أين اكتسبه وفيما أنفقه. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask us about the money, how we earned it and how we spend it. وعن علمه ماذا عمل فيه. And about his knowledge, what did he do in it? So I'm asking, do you think that your career, when you choose your career, all these are involved, yes or no? Of course. When you choose your career, Allah will ask you about your life. Your career is something that you do on daily basis, and something that you study when you are young, something that will get you money. So it is involved directly or indirectly, and it is the knowledge that you have acquired. So Allah will ask you, what did you do with that knowledge? So this hadith talks about 4 things, and the 5th one is وَعَنْ جِسْمِهِ فِيمَا أَبْلَاهُ. What did the person do with his body? So actually, when we talk about career, we are talking about this hadith. Every single statement is in this hadith is involved. Now we go to one mas'ala that has to do with fiqh, one of the masail of fiqh. The ulama asked, what is the ruling in Islam when it comes to choosing your career? Somebody wants to become a doctor, somebody wants to become an engineer, somebody wants to become an IT, etc., or a businessman. Is there a rule in Islam that has to do with this? The answer is yes. When it becomes to the personal choice, it is mubah. I can choose anything. But now, the ulama say, I must survey the needs of the ummah. If the ummah needs me in a special field, and I know that I have the capacity, then I must go to that field. For example, let's say that the ummah in a certain place need 5 doctors, and we have 10 people that are qualified to go to medicine. The ulama say, go into medicine on these 10 becomes fardu kifaya. If 5 of them fulfill the need of the ummah, alhamdulillah, everybody is rewarded. But if none fulfills the need of the ummah, then the whole ummah will get some sayyat, some bad compensation because of that. Because this is a real need of the ummah. Now, the ulama say, if the ummah needs 5 doctors and we have only 3 students that want to go to medicine, then that becomes fardu ayn, an obligation on each and every one of them. So choosing a career is not something just to make money or do something on my own. It is connected to the need of the ummah, and therefore we need a base. We need information. We need the leaders of the community, the leaders of the ummah to start surveying and looking and giving input to the people so we can communicate the needs of the ummah. This is very, very important. So choosing a career is not something personal only. It has to do with the needs of the ummah. Now there is an excellent hadith, and all the speeches of Rasulullah ﷺ are beautiful and excellent. Rasulullah ﷺ tells us, اعملوا فكل ميسر لما خلق له. Work, do good deeds, because every one of you will be facilitated for that which he was created for. Now this hadith is extremely important because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying that everyone among us was given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a special gift. Everyone Allah has given a special talent, and the person should pursue, seek and understand that talent, studies that, acquires knowledge in that, work in that, and benefit himself, his family and the ummah from that. اعملوا فكل ميسر لما خلق له. And this hadith was narrated by Imam Bukhari and Muslim. Work, because everyone will be facilitated for that thing he or she was created for. And if we look at the Sahaba, we see that the Sahaba had different talents, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used every Sahabi according to his talent. The narrations say that when Khalid ibn Walid radiallahu ta'ala anhu used to lead the salah in the army, he used to lead the army with the small surahs. He was not a big hafiz, because his talent was in army and tactics and leadership when it comes to warfare. Other Sahaba, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, Arhamu ummati bi ummati Abu Bakr. The most merciful to the ummah is Abu Bakr. Umar is the strongest in the haqq. When it comes to haya and shyness and generosity, Uthman. When it comes to the recitation of the Quran, Ubay ibn Ka'b and Abdullah bin Mas'ud. When it comes to the fara'id, which is the science of inheritance, al-fara'id, Zaid ibn Thabit. When it came to the collection of the Quran, Zaid bin Thabit was appointed by Hadrat Abu Bakr and Umar for the compilation of the Quran. When it came to knowledge in halal and haram, Mu'adh ibn Jabal. When it came to the trustworthy, the Ameen of the Ummah, Abu Ubaidah. When it came to Asadullah and Asad Rasulullah, Hamza. And the sword of Islam and the sword of Allah, Khalid ibn Walid. When Hadrat Abdullah ibn Zaid had the dream and saw the adhan, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, اذهب فعلمه بلالا فإنه أندى منك صوتا. Go and teach the adhan to Bilal and let him call the adhan, because Bilal has a much more beautiful voice than yours. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was an expert when it came to selecting the talents and using the talents and emphasizing the talents. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam saw in the young Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhuma the ability for knowledge and tafsir. So he made dua for him. Allahumma allimhu at-ta'wila wa faqihhu fi ad-din. Now we go to another question. What would be the ideal age to start thinking seriously about the career, about the field in life? The ulama say, and here I'm talking about the ulama of education, experts on education, that if we see a young man or a young lady with a special talent, we should pay special attention to that and help them. But in high school, it is crucial, extremely important, that youngsters and the youth start thinking seriously about their career. Can you imagine a person going to college and he doesn't know what he's going to be and what is he going to study? Can you imagine that? So this brings us back that it's going to be a waste of time, a waste of effort, a waste of money. For who? For that person, for his family, and for the ummah. And that's why this topic is serious. It has to do with the ummah. We are not talking about individual thing here only. The success of every youth in our community is the success for our families and therefore the success of our ummah. This is related to the ummah. Very well. Now, let's get to business, as business people like to say. But alhamdulillah, we mean the business with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah says, هَلْ أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَى تِجَارَةٍ. Shall I tell you about a trade with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And when we do business with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we get the benefit for this life and the hereafter. Now, how should we go about determining our career? How do we choose our field in life? We are going to concentrate for today on 3 elements. How many? 3. Number 1 is my passion. The passion that the person has. Number 2 will be the opportunities, which means jobs out there. And when we talk about opportunities and job, we want to serve the ummah. We don't want everybody to go to the same thing. We need to distribute ourselves and effort, especially if we have what? The ability, which is the 3rd element. So the rest of my talk will be focused on what the scholars of management and education say. Passion, that's number 1. Number 2 is opportunities. Number 3, the ability of that person. Very well. Let us start with the first one, which is passion. What is your passion? What do you want to be? What is your dream? How are you planning and hoping and dreaming to serve yourself, your family, and the ummah? Let me tell you a small story. A young man went to his father and he said, "Dad, what do you think? What should I study?" So his dad had wisdom. He said, "Go ask your friends." So he went back to his father. So the father asked, "What did your friends tell you?" He said, "Well, some of them wants me to become a doctor, others want me to become an engineer, others IT, others businessman." The father smiled. So the young man said, "What do you think, father?" He said, "Management." So the boy said, "Why?" He said, "Because I like it." He said, "If you like it, it doesn't mean that I like it." He said, "Do you get my point? Everyone will tell you to study what they like. But the point is, what do you like? What is your passion? Is it to study Deen and Sharia and become mufti? Is it to memorize the Quran? Is it to become the greatest faqih of the ummah? That could be your passion and it's needed. But we also need engineers, and we need doctors, and we need business people, and we need IT people. We need Muslims to be the best in every single field, because a Muslim is born to lead. Because our book, the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah ﷺ, is there for us to lead humanity to goodness in this life and the hereafter. So this is number 1. Passion. What is your passion? What do you want to be? What is your dream? Now, many young brothers and sisters ask us, how can I determine my passion? So we have a set of recommendations. First set of recommendation has to do with practical methods. You can start reading some books about different careers. Read some books. Or if there is a workshop about, let's say, doctors, go participate, find out. Or go to a job fair, or look at some magazines. The best one is to go and find out someone, a Muslim inshallah, whom you trust, and they are very successful in that field. Sit down with them and ask them about their work, about their life, how they spend their life. For example, we have medical doctors here. Those guys will tell you, we are on call 24/7. Are you willing to be on call 24/7? This is our life, you know. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward them for that. It's a great sacrifice. Go and find someone who is already doing this for a long time. Sit down with them and find out. Ask them all kinds of questions. Make mashura with them. Another good thing to do is to look at one of the universities and look at the different colleges inside that university. The College of Law, Medicine, Chemistry, Biology, you know, for example, science, we have different. So go and survey and see which one you like. The idea here is to start moving your brain in what is it that I want to do? What is it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in me according to the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam? So you got it? This is the first one, your passion. What is your passion? What is your dream? What is your goal? Find out what is that. Now we will go to opportunity. What do you think? Is opportunity made? Do you make it with the tawfiq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course? Or does it come to you? What do you think? Opportunity, do you make it or does it come to you? Well, when the scholars surveyed jobs, they found out that 2 in 1,000 of the opportunities come to you like that. The rest, you prepare yourself for it. What does that mean? Even the opportunity that comes to you without thinking about it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just puts it in front of you. If you are not prepared, what is going to happen? You are going to lose it. So even the opportunity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts in front of you, if you are not prepared for it, you are going to lose it. And we believe that everything is in the hand of Allah. But let me share with you a very crucial hadith from the life of Hadrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, so we understand this point correctly. Jobs and opportunities. Rizq is in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we make a survey and make statistics and know which jobs are available, we are not saying that rizq is not in the hand of Allah. What we are saying is that we are trying to look how Allah is distributing the rizq. And the example is when Hadrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu stood in front of Amwas in Palestine. And Hadrat Abu Ubaidah said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, there is a plague, ta'un, come in. Umar said, no, I will not come in. He said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, you are the leader of the believers. Are you running away from the qadr of Allah, from the destiny of Allah? Hadrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu said, I run away from the qadr of Allah to the qadr of Allah. I run away from sickness, which is the qadr of Allah, to health, which is the qadr of Allah. Then he gave a very good example to Hadrat Abu Ubaidah radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He said, Ya Aba Ubaidah, if you have your camels with you, and there are 2 pieces of land, one piece of land has grass and water, the other one doesn't, to which one you take your camels to? Abu Ubaidah said, I take my camels to the land that has grass. He said, this is the qadr of Allah and this is the qadr of Allah. No one of us in the morning when we are hungry will say, I will eat with the qadr of Allah. I will not eat because this is the qadr of Allah. Everybody goes and eats and it is the qadr of Allah. So sickness is the qadr of Allah. Health is the qadr of Allah. Hunger is the qadr of Allah. Satisfaction of hunger is the qadr of Allah. Thirst is the qadr of Allah. Satisfaction of thirst is the qadr of Allah. And when we look at the opportunities, this is the qadr of Allah and this is the qadr of Allah. If I fail and I do not look about the opportunities and survey, I chose one of the aqdar of Allah. But if I do, this is also the qadr of Allah. So it does not go against yaqeen. But the most important point here is that we need to survey the jobs and the opportunities because we need to serve the ummah well. We don't need everybody to go to the same field. especially when the ummah needs special fields, special careers, and our youth have the ability and the willingness to satisfy that need. The last word about opportunity: you can look for a job in a company. That's good. Another way is to start planning that one day I am going to have my own personal business. So you can work for a company, have some experience, but then create your own opportunity. Who here heard of the famous scholar and doctor of Sharia and Islam, Abdul Fattah Abu Ghudda rahimahullah, one of the greatest scholars of the Middle East. Yes, right? One of the greatest scholars. He told one of his friends, and I was surprised to hear it. He said, working in a job is weak yaqeen on Allah as Ar-Razzaq. So that person said, Sheikh, what are you saying? Said, because we should have more yaqeen on Allah and start our own businesses. Starting your own business will have more yaqeen. We are not saying that those who work in a job are doing a bad job. No. But the Shaykh was suggesting that Muslims also have to try to make their own businesses and be independent and create jobs, especially those who have the ability. For that, when the youngster has this in his mind, that one day I am going to be the manager of this hospital, the manager of this school, the manager of this part of the business, he will start focusing on other courses like management and financial aspects and all that. Because the idea here is to create leaders among the ummah. We are not suggesting that everybody should do that, but at least we should give it a thought. Let's move to the third one before we move to the practical table. The third one is about your ability. Every major, every concentration, every field needs certain abilities. For example, those who would like to go into pharmacy, they need to have good memory. I heard a story from a scholar that somebody who said that I have very bad memory, he went to the doctor. He said, Doctor, I have a very bad memory. Can you help me? So the doctor asked him, when did this condition start with you? So the man looked at the doctor and said, which condition? So he forgot about what he just told the doctor. This is just a joke, Yeah. So those who are going into medicine and pharmacy, to memorize all these kinds of medicine names and which disease is it for, and all that, and which medicine should not be taken with the same medicine, etc. You need memory there. Scholars of Islam, one of the best fields that a Muslim can choose to be a alim. But not everyone was prepared to be a alim. Not everyone should be a alim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't want that the whole ummah be a alim. Alim means a mufti. Imam Ibn Qayyim rahmatullah alayhi says that the Sahaba were all of them Ahlul Taqwa. But few of them, 30 some of them, were Ahlul Fatwa. So the whole ummah should strive to be Ahlu At-Taqwa, which is to learn the deen and apply it in life. But we need part of the ummah to be alim and to be Ahlul Fatwa. So we need the ummah to go to every field. Because again, Muslims are required to lead humanity in every field of knowledge, using the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when it comes to ability, you need to understand This field that I'm choosing, does it need memory? Does it need math? Does it need science? Does it need memorization? What does it need? The special abilities. And you need to find out and make mashura. Very good. Now, let us go to the table. Does everyone have a copy of this table? Do we have an extra copy? Okay, here's a pen. Can you pass this pen to you, the young brother? Okay. So let's take a look at this table. Again, we are going to do this quickly for the sake of explanation and to finish inshallah. But everyone should do this table, work on this table, in a quiet area, making lots of dua, istikhara, connecting your heart to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and take your time. This table might change from time to time. The idea here is to keep thinking about it and make lots of dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us in every step. Alright, so let's read the instructions quickly, then we go and we will fill this table out. Instructions. Number 1, it says, the recommendation from the ulama that I took this table from, they say write down 3 to 10 live fields to evaluate. So everyone is recommended to write at least 3 fields up to 10. This is the recommendation. You can write your field in general terms. For example, you can write the word medicine, or even better, write the specific thing under medicine. So instead of writing medicine, for example, if you know that you are going to neurology, then write neurology. How many sisters do we need to assist other sisters, Muslim sisters, especially in delivery and when it comes to gynecology and all that? How many sisters do we need? How many female doctors do we need? A lot, right? So this is a field that is required, that the ummah has to provide. We need to provide this. So sisters, please, if you have the ability and capability and the passion, go for it. We need you. You are needed for the ummah. The ummah is calling you. Okay? So now you can write medicine if you are not sure what specialty you are going for. But if you already know, that's even better. Note number 2. It says, place a score in each box for passion, opportunity, and ability. The score will go from 0 to 10. So this is a scale from 0 to 10. Number 3, fill each column. You are going to fill it by column. So when we work out, we are going to fill it by column. Number 4, we are going to add the scores and find out a total. If I have time, I will explain to you the regret score. If I don't have time, we will do it some other time, inshallah. And the last recommendation, your field in life, your career should be with the highest score. So we are going to give numbers here. Let us start with the first column. Does everyone see the field that says life field? This is your career. Do you see it? Does everyone see it? Write down some of the careers that you think you would like to do. Some of your dreams. I would like to be a doctor. I would like to be a mufti. I would like to be a businessman. I would like to be a pharmacist. Write down. Brother, young brothers, do it. Do it. Write down at least 3. If you have more, write down what is it that you like to be. Now, if all your fields are general, medicine, law, business, what does that tell your parent? This message is for the parents now. It tells you as a parent or as a teacher or as an imam that this young man needs to find out more information about these fields, because under each one of these we have so many fields, so we need to help them more. Business, is it business administration? Is it marketing? Is it planning? So we need to help the youngsters find out more details. So write down at least 3 fields. These are your dreams. These are not the dreams of your parents. Your parents love you. Your parents are the only ones on earth that are willing to sacrifice themselves for you. But please convince them. Tell them, Dad, Mom, I love you. I would love to obey you, but please let me choose the field that I love. Give them enough reason, show them that you are responsible, and I guarantee you they will support you. The only thing they need to see from you, responsibility. Okay, are we done? Okay, this is just to have a feeling of what's going on. Now let's go to column number 2, passion. Passion. For these fields that you have, this one will work inshallah. For the fields that you filled in, let's say you put under passion, life field, your career, let's say you put medicine, business and law. Or let's say you put 4, you put mufti, law, education and business. You put this under the column of fields. These are your careers. Now you want to examine your passion. Forget about everything else. Forget about the money. Forget about serving the ummah. Forget about everything for now. And now look inside your heart. Look inside your heart now. Which one you have the most passion for? That one, you give it a 10. My passion is to be a mufti. 10. How about education? 7. How about law? I think 3. Okay? So fill out the column of passion for every career that you have written. Remember, the more zeal, the more love you have for that field, give it a 10. I do not expect to see zeros there because I ask you to put what you love. Right? If you see a 0 there, that's fine. So you know you have to take it out. Make sense? Okay. Now let's look at opportunity. Opportunity. If we go and survey jobs, if we go and survey your plans for the future, you need help there. As a young man, as a young lady, you are going to need help there to find out, the statistics about the jobs and what are the things that are going on, right? And we also need information about the need of the ummah. So this opportunity column has to do with that. If you think that that field that you chose, whatever it is, mufti, law, what is the opportunity for work? If it has a great opportunity, put a 10. If you think it has a very low opportunity, put 1. Like that. For example, let me ask you a question. What is the opportunity from 0 to 10 for someone who is going to study business administration and his father is running a business and his father is telling him, please come and work with me? What is the opportunity to find the job? 10 out of 10. Make sense? So opportunity depends on the ahwal around you. And it's going to depend on the need of the ummah. Right? What does the ummah need me for? We already told the sisters, we need many ladies doctors. MashaAllah, the brothers who are doctors, they are doing excellent job. But we need more ladies. Because we want to take our wives and daughters to you. Especially fields that have to do with delivering babies and gynecology and all that. But you need information. So we need inshallah to work on this. And I'm using this forum, I'm using this minbar to call on all the brothers who are in the leadership in all the communities, that we need to get together and find out how can we provide our youth with this information, inshallah. Now let's go to your ability. Your ability. If you choose medicine, And do you have the patience? Do you have the scores to study for the MCAT and chemistry? Do you like chemistry? Do you like biology, biochemistry? So these are your abilities. Remember, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us different abilities. Right? So we should look into ourselves and we should examine ourselves. So that's why our young brothers and sisters who are in high school, look at your scores at the school. What are the subjects that you like? Find out, do you love math? If you love math, you can go to accounting, for example. Can you imagine somebody going to accounting and he does not like math? Doesn't work. I mean, he can make it. Probably he can make it and he will graduate. But is he going to be a leader for the ummah in that field? Is he? Is she? The answer is no. So it's not about just making it. I'm sure that the brothers here, mashallah, and the sisters, they can go into any field and make it. But I'm not talking about making it. I'm talking about leaders in your field. We want you to be the top. That is what we are asking for here, and that's why we are doing this. So fill out that column, your ability. Do you think you have, which field you have the best ability for? And now it's very easy. You are going to add, for every field, for every career that you chose, add up the passion for it, the opportunity for it, and your ability for it, and put that score under the total score. Am I making sense to everyone? Am I making sense to everyone? So Mufti, law, and education. Which one I have more passion for? I put that. Then the opportunity. The ulama, we need them. They are required. We have the communities, especially in the US, are what? Growing. And we need the ulama. What else? The immigration laws are changing. So we are going to have to produce our own ulama here. See, that's what I'm talking when I'm talking about surveying the ahwal. This is what I'm talking about. So the ulama need it. Yeah. So opportunity, and then your ability. Then add that up horizontally. Add up for every field the passion, the opportunity, and the ability. You add it horizontally this way for every field. Am I making sense to everyone? We are going to add horizontally for every field. For example, alim, my passion is 10, plus the opportunity is 10, plus the ability is 9. So what is the total score? 29. And then you compare the numbers. Who finished? You finished it for your son, right? That's good. No, that's fine. Inshallah. Even if the parent is doing this, that's excellent. Because he can sit down with his son and daughter and benefit them. Can you tell us your examples so we can share them, inshallah? Can I look at your paper? Jazakallah. So what's your name?
Siraj.
Brother Siraj, Jazallah khair. He allowed me to look at his paper. So the first one is what?
Orthopedic surgeon.
MashaAllah, he put a surgeon. The passion is 9, opportunity is 10. If you are a surgeon, you are going to find a job, inshallah. Of course, everything is in the hand of Allah. We know this is our yaqeen. But we are talking about planning as part of the sunnah. And the ability is 8, a total of 27. The next field was general medicine. General medicine.
Cardio specialist.
Oh, a cardiologist. The passion is 9, the opportunity is 10, and the ability is 8. Very good. And the third one is what? Neuro specialist. Passion is 9, 10, and 8, 27. Now, this is excellent for the exercise that I would like to do. He has 3 fields that are very near to each other.
There is fourth one which is also interesting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not. I just wanted an example, but I'll read all 5. So number 4 is which one?
NFL, National Football League.
Oh, American football player. Passion is 10. Opportunity is 1. Why?
I don't know. Because
Okay. Ability is 6. A total of 17. The last one is what? Alim. Passion is 9. Opportunity is 7. and ability is 6, a total of 22. So this was one example, and it's good because now when you have big differences between the numbers, what does that tell you? That the highest score is really your passion, is what inshallah this system is recommending for you to do. How high? How different? The ulama suggest if you have a difference 5 scores and up, then this probably would be your field, your career that you should shoot for. For example, you got one 29, the next one is 24. Clearly, the 29 is a way up. But now we have this case, we have 27, 27, 27. So what should we do? How should we handle this? Let me give you a few suggestions and I will finish inshallah to give the opportunity to our beloved brother Dr. Ahmed Aida. Okay, if the numbers are close, it means number one, you need to look for more details. So you sit down with the brothers who are experts in this field, survey more statistics, ask for mashura of your parents. You need to find out more information, then refill the table for these 3 who are very close. That's suggestion number 1. That's mashura number 1. Mashura number 2 that we give you from the scholars is that if you are in the first 2 years, that's why we are hoping that everyone does this in high school. But if you catch yourself in the first 2 years with these scores, you have not done this, and you are doing this while in college, if you are in the first year or second year, change to your passion. It's okay, because in the first 2 years usually you take general courses. But if you are in the third or the fourth year, then now it becomes difficult, to lose all that. Go ahead and finish that you started, and inshallah try to pursue a master degree or a doctorate degree in your passion. So these are the recommendations. As I said, this exercise should grow with you. And the purpose here for our young brothers and sisters to start thinking about their passion. How do I want to serve the ummah? Remember, we have 3 elements here. Yourself. And Allah will ask us about our life, about our youth, about our money, about our body. So ourself, I'm responsible for this. My family is going to support me with money and effort. Am I going to make them lose all that because I was not able to determine what is it that I want to be? So I should make mashura with my parents. I'm sure Dr. Ahmad inshallah will give us more insight on that. And the third one, I belong to the ummah. You know what happens? What happens when some cells of the body start acting on themselves without the central voice of the body? What do doctors call this? When certain cells of the body act by themselves. Do you know what is the scientific term for that? It's called cancer. We belong to one body. Rasulullah ﷺ said the ummah is one body. We have to act as one body, a central voice. We are part of an ummah. We are serving a bigger cause. And the last recommendation, which was given to me by a dear brother, he said, please do not forget to remind the brothers, and this is very valuable. Do not make money your ultimate goal. If you control your expenses, we were talking together, alhamdulillah, may Allah reward him for the reminder. Said, tell the brothers, if you control your expenses, then you will control your bills, and then you can give more to the ummah. Even if you are making so much money, you can give more to the ummah. And remember the bayan we gave here from the words of the ulama. Richness is not about having more. Richness is about needing less. Right? So do not make money your ultimate goal. If you are expert in your field, I can assure you, money will come looking for you. But better than that, you will serve the ummah better. You will represent Islam better. I had a story to tell, but I ran out of time. I must give the microphone to my dear respected brother, Dr. Ahmed Aido. I will share this story later, inshallah.
Yes, finish your story, please.
No, it's okay. It's okay, inshallah. I will share it later, inshallah.
I don't think you have questions. You answered everything already, so go ahead.
Inshallah, you give us the barakah. Bismillah. So, I did not explain the regret column. I will do it, inshallah, in another opportunity. It works very similar to what we have done, but for the sake of today, inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept. Do the exercise that I asked you to do. Find out your passion, your fields in life. Then give your passion a number, the opportunity a number, and your ability, and add that up and see, what comes up. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah reward you for your patience and for your effort.